Anyway, yeah.
Bitch.
Last episode we were supposed to do something, but I just forgot.
The Japanese
because my
urban
laptop wasn't charged, so I couldn't see my list.
What was it?
The Japanese urban
You want
legends.
to announce it right now, or is it safe for later?
No, we'll do it in the first half. It's about. I was trying to remember how I stumbled across this like lame ass article about Japanese urban legends.
Yep.
Or something. So I wanted to go through a few of them, and James said he's like an expert on the matter. So.
Well, I know a few because I'm curious, so I just look at things.
Because he's a weeb.
Well, yeah,
you
I know
a
what
few because
tutu
you're curious
is,
and look at things.
Yeah, I know a few of them. I got super scared, didn't sleep for like a week, so I was like, oh my god, I'm
That's
scared.
the thumbnail sorted, lol. The the article is from a pretty reputable website, grape.com.
Yep.
Oh,
No,
I've heard of
well,
them.
Food, culture, art, sightseeing, goods and animals. With a...
Whenever I'm writing an essay for university, I go straight to Grape. I cite them. They're pretty good.
Never heard of them before in my entire life.
Nope.
I actually have though, this thing.
Have you actually?
I have, yeah.
You've probably read this very article, which reads 7 creepy Japanese urban legends
Urban legends.
that will make you terrified of the bathroom. Because for some reason they all seem to be obsessed with the bathroom, which fits into the Jar Media poo theme and wee theme and fart theme.
You don't fart just in the bathroom.
Do you ever just pull your cheeks apart and fart when you're like in the shower?
Ever since Alex started saying this, I've done it once and it didn't really,
Or is it what?
really change
Or
anything.
pull your cheeks apart and you
Just from my
fart.
cheeks
It
and
makes
fart
it
in the
smell
shower.
worse for some reason.
There's no satisfaction in the fart when you sweat. You know when you
No,
nice
there
clean-
No,
is-
I completely disagree
yeah, I
with that.
disagree.
sentiment.
I've never really
That's
done a
why.
whopper.
That's why I'll always be tilting. You know, you'll catch me doing that tilt, and that's when the squirt's gonna come.
Yeah.
I think it's
that's-
because James means when you spread your cheeks, just goes like.
You just slide
doesn't
down.
want
That's not true. Did you know if you have no hair on your ass at all, it's impossible to do silent farts?
If you have no hair on your ass.
Well, to be
At all.
honest, how would you shave your ass?
Easy.
I don't know.
Just gotta bend over, get a razor up in there.
Oh no, that does
I
not
guess.
sound fun.
Yeah, I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah, I don't like the sound of that either.
Yeah.
I've got like one hair there anyway.
So anyway, scary Japanese urban legends. Let's delve into this, my...
Guys.
Urban legends.
What's that?
Oh, James has like a weird cut on his arm.
Yeah,
I've
I
only just
noticed
noticed that.
And I thought you would know what it was. I was
What
going to ask you about
What if something's happening right now?
What
It's
if?
probably, was
what
it
if one of
Argy?
these
What if it's
ghosts-
Did you
Coochie?
scratch your arm on something on the way up the stairs? Did Argy get you?
I don't know.
It looks like you've been got by Argy.
I think it's shingles. I've got shingles.
Great. We've all got shingles now.
But yeah.
Thanks, James.
The first one is called Kuchisake-onna, a.k.a. the slit-mouthed woman. Do you know this one,
Slit.
James?
Yes.
Slit is coochie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know this one.
Perhaps the most famous, thanks to depiction in popular media and terrifying images that are essentially the equivalent, parentheses, and way better, Jeff the Killer of Japan. The legend of Kuchisake-onna, as many Japanese urban legends do, originates from the tragic death of a woman.
Everything in Japan starts that. That's how
The Grudge is that way. I think The Ring is that way as well. They're just obsessed with it. So basically, legend says that a husband found out his wife was cheating on him and in a rage slit her mouth open from ear to ear, mockingly asking her, "Who is going to find you pretty now?"
Oh,
Actually-
I think I've seen this I think it's The Dark Knight. I think it's the origin story.
Yeah,
the
that's-
Joker. Yeah.
James,
Yeah.
let's roleplay this.
Why?
Who's coochie in this?
Jim,
Who's
you're
the
Coochie,
Coochie?
James is the husband, so you've got to say, "Who's going to find you pretty? Who's going to find you so pretty now?" Question mark.
Who's gonna find you so pretty
No,
now?
you're the husband.
Yeah, you're the man.
And you got- say
Why
it
are
in
we role
Japanese.
playing a Japanese urban legend? It doesn't sound that great.
Well,
Alex.
Jim's got a role play.
Would you rather roleplay a more modern Japanese urban legend, if you know what I mean? I'm talking about hentai.
Oh.
Yeah, I got it.
Anyway, after that horrible thing, he said that before she died, and then her spirit preys on people walking alone at night, who she appears in front of wearing a surgical mask. She will ask them, Jim?
Do you think I'm pretty?
That wasn't a very good Japanese woman voice, but
watashi wa desu ka?
That's a lot better actually. Answering no to that question of "Do you think I'm pretty?" will get you killed with scissors. While answering yes, we'll have her remove her mask, revealing her wounds, and you'll be asked again more aggressively. Saying no to this will again get you killed with scissors, but if you say yes, she will cut your mouth so that you look like her. Scary rating out of 5? 5 being scary.
That is absolutely
0.
horrifying.
I think that's incredibly lame.
Yeah, that one sucks.
Yeah, that's
That's Reddit tier.
Yeah.
That's like Reddit too spoopy for me bullshit tier.
The ones everyone knows are like the lame ones, but then there's like the weird ones that are just
It's
like...
just- it's-
that's weird.
There are like
Bad horror stories are just obsessed with like smiles,
Yeah.
smiling things. Like there's that smiling dog. There's Jeff the Killer.
Man.
smiling
Man.
dog.
He just runs down the road at you like.
Yeah, there is that like smiling dog creepypasta. You know the one.
That
Have you never seen that? This
I've never
fucking
seen
thing.
it.
Was it Smile dog.
is that meant to
creepypasta?
be scary?
Yes.
That's
Lol.
funny.
And
though.
that, yeah, the smile dog. You've never seen these images. Everyone knows the smiling dog.
I don't. I've never seen... I don't know what the
Looks pretty funny.
smiling
It looks
dog
like a
is.
meme to me.
It does look like a
Doesn't
meme.
look scary at all.
Okay, let's go to the next one. This is probably my favorite one out of this list. Teke Teke and Kashima Reiko.
I know
Don't
that. I know.
Don't even try and do an
Teke
accent.
Teke.
How the fuck would you say that? Teke and Kashima Reiko.
Better.
These two urban legends are often mentioned together and sometimes rumoured to be the same spirit. Both involve sinister apparitions missing their legs, who have no problem inflicting the same gruesome demise on you. Teke Teke is the spirit of a Japanese woman who died after falling onto the train tracks, sometimes said to be suicide. She usually distracts you from a window, catching your eye with her beauty. She then reveals her bloodied. This mic's like covering my eye. And while you are stunned, rushes at you in frighteningly speedy spider-like walk using her claws like hands. This is written so strangely. The sound of them clacking on the ground is Teke Teke. If you can't outrun her, she will slice you in half. Scariness rating?
Still a 0.
Yeah.
I'd give that one a 2 out of 5.
This is the best they got.
I thought it was
No,
the
it's-
most creative one because I like the...
Yeah. Teke Teke Teke.
It's like they're like Pokemon.
And you got the one
Yeah,
that will,
Teke
if you leave
Teke.
your feet hanging out the bed, will eat you in your sleep.
Is that real?
Yeah, that's one of them, isn't it? The thing that eats you from your feet if you leave your feet dangling out of the bed.
There's another one that has a very similar story. Kashima Reiko is one of the Japanese ghosts said to haunt bathroom stools, particularly at schools.
Oh yeah, I know this one.
After being beaten and abused by a group of men, she crawled around on her hands and knees, calling out for help in vain. She collapsed on railway tracks and was severed in two. So it's basically the exact same story. And she like asks you a riddle. Like if she finds you, she asks you a riddle, and if you get it wrong, I guess she kills you. Yeah, she'll rip you to bloody pieces.
You see, just being killed isn't that scary?
Yeah. Like I remember when Slender Man was like before it was what it is today, and was like a stupid movie and all that shit. The scary thing about Slender Man was the idea that it would kind of just kidnap you and you'd just vanish. You never truly knew what happened, where you went, what was happening. There's 2 more. Oh no, there are 3 more.
Red Room.
I've watched scarier Pixar films.
Oh.
Cars 2 is pretty scary.
There's a pretty scary bit in Toy Story
2.
1.
Toy Story 1 is
Toy
is
Story
the
1 is the
scariest
bit where
one.
it's like, I don't want to play with you anymore.
The whole Sid like room thing is.
Yeah,
But
it's
Toy
terrifying.
Story 2 when he falls in the infinite bin.
Well, yeah, no, that's Toy Story
creepy.
1, isn't it?
No, that's
No,
the second
Toy Story
one.
2.
And he's pulled in like by the.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's Toy Story 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
Toy Story 1.
towards the beginning, isn't it? They are just all about bathrooms. Hanako, San of the toilet. Blah blah blah. Is like an initiation. What? Like Bloody Mary? Oh, okay.
There's a lot like
Would
that.
This one's lame.
Quick side note, would you stand in front of a mirror by yourself in the dark and say Bloody Mary 3 times?
Yes.
Have you done it?
No.
Do it then.
They,
Would you do
so
it,
do
James?
you remember the South Park episode where they
Jim,
said
yeah.
Biggie Smalls?
I can't do scary stuff. So like, nah, I'm not.
Would
doing
you
it.
do it, Ruben?
Would I do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if I had to. Yeah, I'd do it.
Not if you had to. Like, I'm asking you. If I tell you to do it, would you do it? To show how much of a man you are.
Yeah?
Ruben.
I just don't believe in any of it.
Come on.
Okay, this one's pretty
No, we're doing the podcast.
pretty interesting.
I'm not doing it.
Manto, Red Cape. It's another one that lurks in bathrooms.
It's a bathroom one, yeah.
They're all bathroom ones.
Well, that was the name of the
Japanese
article,
people
so
are
what do
just
you expect?
terrified of taking a shit. Are they terrified
Everyone
of
is
shitting?
taking
Well, yeah, why wouldn't you be when nobody washes their hands?
True.
We should have. Yeah, that fits in perfectly. The cohesion.
The Red
between
Room. I know this one.
No, but
Red
the story of the
The
Red
Red-
Cape is he's a ghost who wears a mask to cover his handsome face, which caused him to attract stalkers when he was a human.
Damn.
Haunting the last stall in girls' bathrooms, he will suddenly appear and ask if his victims want red or blue toilet paper. Asking for red, he will violently carve into you until your clothes are soaked in blood. If you ask for blue, you will be strangled until you die and your face turns blue.
I like how, before we actually did this, I quickly read a few, and they're all different. They're the same, but they're all just like the actual details are all different.
Mm.
It's just such shit.
Well, if this guy came up to you and asked you what, I would just say, can I just have normal toilet paper? What does he do to you if you just say, no, I don't really want coloured?
Yeah, because
No, it made no sense.
that's a big flaw with these things. Like, they ask you a question, and if you say one thing,
Go to the Red Room.
Okay, we'll
The
do
Red Room one is actually, there's a lot more to it, I think.
The Red Room. One other trend you may have picked up on in Japanese horror is the theme of haunted or cursed media. In this case, the Red Room is an ominous pop-up on your internet browser. The story starts with one boy telling another about the ghostly pop-up, while the more skeptical boy scoffs at it, just like I did, and goes home to search. After searching to no avail, the pop-up shows up with an image of a red door. The recorded child's voice repeatedly asks, "Do you like?" And the pop-up continually reappears even when closed. Eventually, the full message is displayed asking, "Do you like the Red Room?" along with a list of names, the very last of which is the name of the boy who told him about the Red Room. The boy then senses something behind him and hears the child's voice from within the room. Neither of the boys returns to school and are rumoured to have taken their lives, and their rooms painted in blood.
The thing about that urban legend is it was really big on 2Tube, which is like a Japanese site where loads of people would do it and they post like videos of it. But the only weird thing is that the girl who committed the Saisbo
So yeah, it's
stabbing,
based on a real thing.
she actually did something really horrendous, and one of her bookmarks was the Red Room pop up.
Really?
So that's why it's got a bit
It's
of
the same
weirdness
though
to
with the thing with the people who got obsessed with Slender Man
Yeah.
and killed that girl or something.
it.
It's normally like a young person has like a mental illness of some sort, and then they just browse creepy pasta shit too much, and then one thing leads to another. Let's do one more. Should we do Gozu, which is Cowhead,
I want to see this.
or Tomino's
Yeah.
Hell?
Tomino looks cool.
Tomino's Hell is a dark and disturbing poem by Yamata, here we go, Inuhiko, that became a part of Japanese macabre folklore, thanks in part to 2Ch message boards.
2Tube.
Is that how you pronounce it? 2Ch.
That's what I know of it.
Right, it's 2CH message boards. It tells of the punishment and damnation of a boy.
What that is 4chan was a copy, literally a copy of that.
So it's 2chan.
Yeah, it's 2chan. That's the original from like ages ago.
Yeah.
So think of it as just Japanese.
So it's
2chan,
just like a creepy
4chan.
poem that if you read out loud, the reader will suffer tragedy and a horrifying fate.
But there's a YouTube video of someone reading it right there. So
Yeah.
all of those were shit.
What I found, they're all crap. I watched this anime. There's an anime actually
Ruben's
about.
pretty scared.
I'm just reading about Japanese murder cases now.
There's an anime
Just
about
curious.
urban legends, which I watched, and I found it freaky because the art style is really kind of unsettling. It's called Yamashi Bai or something like that. I'd say it's pretty good.
One of the coolest
Creepy.
Japanese horror things I've seen was like this short story. You've probably seen it, James, and I think there's actually a movie based on it. I think it's called Spiral or something. Where it's a story about like this mountain face suddenly has a bunch of like cutouts of perfect human shapes like appear in them, and like everyone is drawn to it, and everyone has a hole that like perfectly fits their body shape and their exact, just the size of them, and something about the holes in the wall just draws them into it, so they like insert themselves in, and they just gradually go through, but the shape gradually spirals. They like are warped into like a weird shape.
I think.
Is that an anime?
No, it was like it was drawn, and I think they've made like a live action movie based on it or something. That's such a weird idea. It's like,
I think with like Japanese and like doing horror, they do horror the best.
They tend to have the best concepts.
Yeah. It's
like
not like
that.
American horror, which is just killer. That's it. The whole thing is just you're gonna
I don't know if
die.
it's that one. The inhabitants of a small Japanese town become increasingly obsessed with and tormented by spirals. Okay. I'm sure a jarling out there knows the story.
I find the way they do horror really interesting, and the whole perception of that type of stuff.
I was like mortified and so scared of the concept of The Grudge when I was younger. I didn't really find the movie scary.
Yeah,
It was kind of lame and dumb, but it's the idea, yeah. Just like the Slenderman thing. Slenderman's lame.
Well, that's like psychological horror, though, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
it's not like scary killer. It's like it's the idea of it that's more the actual.
Yeah,
scary
I
part of
remember like a recurring dream I would have. I still remember it, like, as clear as day, because I was so frightened of it, of like being in a room and there was a vent up in the corner, and like you just saw a flash of the like Grudge face, and that was just burned into my brain for some reason. It's so creepy.
I can't watch anything horror related. If I watch something like a psychological, like Japanese horror movie, I won't sleep for like months. I can't do it. My mind just fucking controls me, and I'm like,
I'm a little bitch with horror now as well. There was a time when I was like 17 where I could take it, but nah. I watched this movie on Netflix, like Ghost Stories, I think it's called.
Yeah,
and it's like pretty standard shit, but I'm such a little bitch for decent horror now. Like not even good, but just fine. I'm a little bitch.
You haven't seen Hereditary yet.
No.
fuck.
It follows. That film got to me.
That film frightened me a couple of times too.
Actually, that one like intrigued me, but I know it's like the thing with like horror movies and me is like I'm fucking terrified of them, but it's like as soon as I see a little bit, I'm like I've got to watch more. It's like it fucking pulls you in. Because I remember this one time my mum was watching like One Missed Call, which is a fucking garbage horror movie.
The trailer for that and the concept of that freaked me out too.
Yeah, like you get called when you hear your death and then it happens. Like that fucking scared the fuck out of me. And like I was in the living room. I walked in to talk to my mum about something, left, and then I was like through the doorway just watching, like fucking scared. And then I had nightmares for like months, but I couldn't pull myself away.
There's something like everyone's just obsessed with scary stories and ideas like that.
I can't do it now.
And then like you've seen the Babadook, haven't you, Jim?
Yes.
I was scared of like the first half of that movie.
Yeah.
Until they show it crawling around on the ceiling and it's funny. And then you're like, oh, it's not scary anymore.
Yeah, he just looks like a hipster.
Yeah, he does.
In their room.
I've watched The Witch.
The Witch is more psychological, isn't it? I wasn't really that scared of it.
No.
I just appreciated
by
that
it,
movie.
I was very interested by all of it. I can imagine, I empathized with how terrifying it would be for them, not understanding any of it.
I found it more foreboding than scary. Like their constant like droning music they play. And just
it's a dreadful film. The whole thing is dread. That's all you feel.
It's got a creepy atmosphere the whole time.
Yeah, I really like that film.
And it's just, the setting is also like something to do with the woods is like ultimate peak scary to me.
Because then we watched The Ritual as well.
Yeah,
I actually like that film quite a bit.
I really liked the Ritual. Was that 2018 or before?
I think it came out in 2017.
Yeah, I think it was 2017.
We watched it in
2018.
Year,
yeah.
Why are woods and that type of stuff just scary? Why?
I don't know. It's the unknown. You feel like humans aren't the best at dealing with. If you're by yourself in the woods, like
no, we have Savanac Forest, and that to me, my dad, for just all the time growing up, was like, Seven Oak Forest, I want to be there at night.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no, that's right, Dad. I don't want to be at Seven Oak Forest at night on my own. That's right.
Oh, it's just the whole thing of like, because they're obviously so open, and it's just like there's so many different angles people could be watching. And it's just
And
like
it's perfectly still and dark, and you can hear
And the
everything.
noises, yeah.
You
No,
become really aware.
The
of
most frightened I've
yourself.
probably ever been in my life was I was walking Argy too late in summer. I timed it wrong, so the sun went down. So I was like at the halfway point of the walk, ready to come back as it was pitch black. And so as I was walking back in the dark, couldn't see anything.
do you know
Because
what?
it wasn't near any roads or like lamps.
Do you know what my thing was? It's like when I would say I probably did this up to like 17, 18, 19 properly. It's like if I go to like Tesco at night, it'd be like probably around this time of year where it gets dark really quickly. Like
Mhm.
I'd go in sunlight, and if it's dark and it gets back, I would literally, no joke, just fucking sprint because I was so scared of like anything going near me.
When
It's
I
just
was
like,
younger, not like 17, but like
I was
10.
fucking terrified.
going upstairs,
Yeah.
you get in your own head,
Yeah.
and it's like,
I was
If
about
you
to
were the
say
last
that.
one down and you had to turn the lights off and
Oh, I
then
hate
go
that.
up.
Yeah.
I'd run up the stairs.
yeah.
My dad used to like get at me for it, so I had to like walk quickly, like run to the stairs and walk quickly, and
Mhm.
for the point where he'd hear me, so he wouldn't know that I'd ran up the stairs or whatever.
I just remember it because where my kitchen's downstairs, and it's not the biggest house, but it's multiple floors. And it'd be like the door's like there, and the light would be there, so it'd just be like, oh look,
Yeah.
instantly went up
Yeah.
the stairs.
No, I feel like that's a really normal thing to do.
I still do it sometimes now. I don't like putting my back to where I can't see
Yeah.
when I'm getting paranoid about shit.
I think no. When I clean my teeth, because where my
That's
bathroom,
what I get as well.
when I'm where my bathroom is, it's like the hallway, my room, the bathroom, so the doors face each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that my light's on. So when I clean my teeth, I'll look in the mirror and then clean my teeth like that, so it's in my eyesight because the stairs is there, and then it's just like.
I'm
it's actually like a
terrified.
habit. Like I can't brush my teeth without doing it. I have to look around and be like,
I'm terrified of going into the bathroom, turning the light on while looking at the mirror, and then see something behind
Yeah.
me, and then turning around and nothing being there.
yeah, I've done that as well.
It's such a cliche, but like if it were to actually happen,
Oh my god. Yeah.
Don't Jim.
I'd just drown myself in the bath immediately. Like I can't put up with that.
I remember one of the worst ones is when you've got something hanging in the room or there's something
yeah.
vague human-like shape, so your
Yeah.
brain tells you, shit, that's
Actually-
something there.
Get
I
ready to
remember-
kill it. Kill
Yeah.
it.
I remember this one time we were all at yours, and Jim's spoken about this before, like to us, I think. It's like, it was nighttime, and we were going like downstairs, and it's like, because of where your bathroom is, there's the mirror, and then there's a window next to it,
Mm-hmm.
and Jim spotted something in the window, and it wasn't actually there. It was like a light from the toothbrush charger.
Yeah,
And it
I
bounced
thought
off.
Yeah.
I thought there was like an alien spaceship coming to abduct me.
And I remember
There-
because you said,
There was
like,
like a flashing blue light.
you're like, what the fuck is that? And then we literally sprinted downstairs and were just like, fucking out. We're done.
Well, there was that time, Jim, we thought we saw a ghost. Do you remember in the neighbour's garden?
Yeah, it was actually just some white
It
chairs.
was just some white chairs stacked on top of each other, but you just wind each other up. Like
Yeah.
I remember after watching Pan's Labyrinth for the first time,
That scared the fuck
Holy,
out of me.
yeah, that fucked me
the
up.
pale,
The pale
creature.
fucked me up.
Um,
Yeah. I used to be terrified of that.
I remember like I watched it with a few people, and afterwards,
Yeah.
either I or one of them said, "I think I saw it outside" or some shit.
Yeah, and everyone
It was
starts.
like, nah. But when I was walking in summer and I was trapped out there at night, there's like a river by where I was walking, a really shallow stream, and it was pitch black and I couldn't see anything, but I heard like footsteps go through the water really loudly. It was like, I think I literally out loud said, "Oh hell no," and just ran for it.
Damn.
With Argy, no, I actually just ran because I was not expecting it at all. It just sounded like something walking through the water.
I bet it was just like a fucking duck or
It was
something.
probably like some
Or it was
Small mammal.
Ugok 2,
probably was
the
a
river
duck,
runner.
too. The
That's
river
why.
runner,
That's
yeah.
why. Like, dogs are great. It's just like, a dog ain't dumb. Like, but then there's times when like you're scared, but then your dog like barks at a noise, and it's just like, oh fuck.
Dude,
But then the worst bit is if the dog gets scared as well. And it's like, we're gonna
Cats-
die. We're both gonna
yeah.
die.
Cats are scary though.
Mm.
They'll just stare at
Not
shit.
not long
It's not
ago,
bad.
Don't do that. I actually read something about it on Twitter, so I was saying they actually got haunted by a ghost, and it's to do with cats, and I fucking freaked out. I
The
couldn't
Grudge
sleep
had
for days.
the cat, didn't there? There was
Yeah.
like a boy with the voice of a cat because their
yeah.
souls,
the souls
got mixed up or something.
But yeah, not long ago, I heard some cat shit going on outside, so I was like, okay, better check this out. Like Billy having a fight. So I go down, open the door, and Billy's just by herself. So I take a few steps, and then I just hear this fucking boom come from like something's jumped over the fence and it's made a crash. And then it happens a couple times, like again and again. So it's just a cat jumping onto a big metal thing next door.
Yeah.
But the first time I heard it, I was like,
Do you know what? It's like I'm so paranoid. It's not like just anything scary. It's just like people. If I hear someone like walk by my house, I'm like up. Like it'll be midnight and I'll just wake up and I'm like taking like defensive actions, like grabbing something to like smash someone with. It's just like I listen too much when I sleep because I'm like my parents are on the top floor. I'm on the middle floor, so if anyone broke in, I'm like the first like thing.
You're the first.
So
the first line.
So it's like now, it's like I'm so used to it now that if there's a noise, I'm ready to fuck shit up. So I'm like on edge all the time, and it's really terrible.
Damn.
But then there's guys who'd howl like a motherfucker. So
That's true. Argue would alert everyone.
which is good.
That's a great horror
But
episode.
that's the thing.
In, January.
I'm also like that because someone literally tried to break into my house once. When my sister was downstairs pregnant at the time, and that freaked me the fuck out. And since I've just been like, if you go in this house, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Well, we'll continue after D's nuts messages. I don't know if you wanted to finish that story, James, about being burgled or something.
Oh no, it's just
Before we go into questions.
Like around Christmas, like burglaries are more common because of presents. And it was before Christmas. My sister was pregnant at the time, staying in our house. She was downstairs in the bottom like study at the time, but it was a room. And that window faces the gate. And then someone opened the gate, walked up to the door, tried to get in, started pushing it, and then just legged it out. And obviously, if you're pregnant at the time, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So since I've been very defensive over any of that type of stuff.
We should have guns.
For self-defense, straight up, if someone's going in the house, bang, you're getting glocked.
If guns were legal, then you'd have to worry about them having a gun.
No, because you glock them first. As soon as
Yeah, you know your house better than them. So
It's like Home Alone.
You
except
do-
with a fucking it's like lethal.
you
know?
literally you take the Japanese folklore legends and you hide in creepy places and glock them.
A bear trap's legal.
What you do is you set up a
Or
series
if someone
of
breaks in, it just turns into a round of siege. It's just like
you set up a series
Yeah,
of
Home Alone.
high-powered defense turrets at strategic locations, and then they trickle in waves, and you've got to make sure they don't get to the end.
Basically, no weapons are legal here. Really.
Well, no, but
No, you can't own anything that if they can prove that you only own it as a weapon, then you're done for possession of a weapon. If someone breaks into your house and you smash them with a bat that they say you only own because you use it as a weapon, you go to prison as well.
of course you can't have a really.
Yeah.
So basically, if you
Backwards
own
law.
like a baseball bat, or something, you have to at least use it for baseball.
Yeah, you have to be able to prove that you just have it. You have it for baseball.
Well, okay.
And you picked it up incidentally. It was the only thing available to you to defend yourself.
It's a
So,
good
like-
thing my dad plays golf.
Fucking boop. So what, like a spanner? Well, if you're working on a car, you're always gonna have a spanner. So you just whack them with a spanner.
That is so stupid though. If someone comes into my house,
You should
Yeah,
be able to
you can be
defend yourself.
prosecuted for fucking smashing them when they've come onto you. They've broken.
Yeah,
into
there
your
were like
property.
famous cases
Yeah.
of robbers
Yeah.
cutting their legs as they break in through the window they've smashed, and then they like sue the owner of the home and stuff like that. It's that stupid like technicality of those kinds of laws, the kind of loopholes.
At the end of
Yeah.
the day, if someone goes into my property, I should be able to fuck them up and not have any repercussions.
yeah,
Personally, that's how I see it.
Well, so how do you feel about it counting as like indecent exposure if you're naked inside your house and someone from the outside sees you?
you see that
No
that
way is that
depends. That depends because if you're like standing,
If
at
you're
the
like jerking off in the window.
yeah,
looking
like
at
staring at people.
No,
Yeah.
but if someone breaks in and you sleep with in your fucking undies and you run down with a baseball bat in your undies, it's like you can't get done for that because you were asleep.
Imagine just fucking with like a burglar who's trying to break into your house. Like if you happen to have like we've got weird like props here. If you just dressed up really strangely and just were like
It'll be like that part in
being
the,
really weird around them. like through the glass looking at them and shit. It probably
You
just
just
freak
be
them out.
like, just
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah,
That'd be really
doing
terrifying.
that sort of thing like in The Shining, you know, where she's running around and then she sees the guy like sucking off a dude,
Yeah.
and then he gets up and he's just wearing that like dog mask.
Yeah.
It's like what you're saying is if someone breaks in, pretend to be a Japanese urban legend.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Just
That's
put
what
on
we've
that
learned
black
today.
wig and wear like a surgical mask.
And make some creepy noise the whole time.
What you need
So
is
just do the
you need, like,
farting
you need
noises.
flickering lights. You need like a flickering blue light and a surgeon's mask and like just like a weird saw, and you just look at them for a while, holding your like surgical saw. Just stare at them for a bit.
Or get really fat and buy a katana. They would not fuck with you then.
And a cool hat.
And a cool hat. Yeah.
Mhm.
Some kind of fedora or something.
Something to kind of classic. You know what I'm saying?
Really lighten the mood.
So basically, what we're saying is, if anyone breaks into your house, Jar fans, just straight up twerk in front of them, and they'll fucking like
That
it.
might freak them out.
So would you like Minecraft?